Imagine a boat taking water from two holes at the same time. On the one hand, the Mass of all time, the one that St. Pius X, Benedict XV, and millions of Catholics defended with their lives, is being buried in silence, without decree, without public discussion, simply ignored. On the other hand, a German cardinal signs a decree requiring every priest in his diocese to bless irregular couples, and no one stops him. Some are trying to plug these two holes with their own hands. On the one hand, tradition is being asked to wait, be patient, and trust in papal discernment. On the other, progressivism is being allowed to advance with mandatory diocesan decrees. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly how tradition is being quietly buried while the progressive agenda advances by decree, and why both are happening at the same time, in the same week, under the same pontificate. Let's start with the facts. On April 17, 2026, the Catholic website The Pillar published an article that was bound to cause quite a stir among traditionalists. He doesn't mention names because those who spoke did so anonymously, which in itself speaks volumes about the climate in Rome. Several cardinals and Roman Curia officials told The Pillar something simple and devastating. No solution for the traditional Mass is foreseen in the near future. None. Many observers expected the extraordinary consistory, convened for June 26th and 27th, to finally address the liturgical question. This will not be the case. Leo XIV responded with a letter to the College of Cardinals. The theme of the consistory will be Evangelii Gaudium, Francis's apostolic exhortation, and how to relaunch it. The traditional Mass is mentioned in passing as a theme that could emerge in the reflection on the mission. In practice, no priorities, no agenda, no dates. An anonymous Vatican official goes further. Leo XIV, he says, is unfamiliar with traditional communities. His only concern, he adds, is whether these faithful accept the Second Vatican Council, and whether they accept it in its entirety, not whether the Mass nourishes them spiritually, not if they have the right to a 1,000-year-old liturgical form that the Church itself has never formally abrogated. We understand what this means. Catholics who attend traditional Mass are not treated as faithful deserving of a pastoral response. They are treated as a doctrinal problem to be handled with caution, as something to be watched, to be verified, to be kept on hold until further notice. Let's pause for a moment, because while the cardinals speak anonymously and the Mass remains in limbo, what's happening on the other side? On April 21st, 2026, 4 days after the Pillar article, Cardinal Reinhard Marx, Archbishop of Munich and Freising, signed a pastoral document that made the rounds throughout the traditionalist world. It's called Segen gibt der Liebe Kraft. Blessing gives strength to love. In Italian, blessing gives strength to love. The rule is simple and absolute. Every priest and pastoral worker in the diocese must make blessings available to couples in irregular situations. No couple requesting a blessing can be refused. Priests who, for reasons of conscience, cannot simply say no. They must refer the couple to the dean or other pastoral workers. Starting in June, the diocese will launch mandatory training for all staff. The course's name is revealing: Queer Pastoral Care. According to the German Catholic news agency, Cardinal Marx is the first cardinal in Germany to explicitly impose these blessings as a binding pastoral norm for the entire diocese. Not an optional opening, but an obligation. And no one in Rome said anything. No statement from the dicastery for the doctrine of the faith, no public response from the Pope, no canonical proceedings initiated. Silence in these cases speaks louder than any statement. there's a second level to consider, and this is the point no one wants to mention. On January 29th, 2026, Leo XIV, yes, the same Leo XIV, whose officials say he knows nothing about traditional communities, delivered a public address in which he openly criticized what is happening in Northern Europe. In Northern Europe, he said, they're already publishing blessing rituals for loved ones. He added, this violates fiducia supplicans. These ceremonies aren't what the Church teaches. The Pope has made it clear. Blessing rituals for non-heterosexual couples are prohibited. Cardinal Fernandez, who signed Fiducia Supplicans in December 2023, wanted to distance himself from the German document. The Vatican has denied having formally approved Segen gibt der Liebe Kraft. 90 days after the Pope's speech, Cardinal Marx signed the decree, making it binding throughout the diocese. There was no public response from Rome, no consequences, not even a statement. Here lies the paradox that no one wants to name. The traditional Mass is asked to wait, with patience, with humility, with trust in the Pope's discernment. Progressivism is asked nothing. Progressivism doesn't wait. It signs and implements. It's not just a problem of the Latin Mass. It's the problem of how fidelity is measured in today's Church. Anyone who requests the traditional Mass must demonstrate their acceptance of the Council. Anyone who signs a decree that challenges papal directives on blessings receives Rome's silence in response. Double standards. There's a moment in history every Catholic should know. It was September 8th, 1907. St. Pius X published Pascendi Dominici Gregis, one of the most powerful encyclicals of the 20th century. Modernism, the Pope wrote, does not cry out for revolution. It advances silently, one step at a time. It doesn't come with a manifesto, it comes with a pastoral circular, with a diocesan document. With mandatory training in June, Pius X clearly saw the mechanism and denounced it with prophetic courage. The question every traditionalist asks today is, does the current pontificate have the same clarity? The question traditionalists have been asking for months is this: is there a one-size-fits-all rule in today's Church? Or is there one rule for those who ask to celebrate the Mass of all time, and a different rule for those who openly defy papal directives with a mandatory diocesan decree? The traditional Mass has never needed a papal decree to survive. It survived Arianism, the Protestant Reformation, the French Revolution, and the Second Vatican Council. It is not a fragile liturgical form awaiting protection. It is the beating heart of 20 centuries of Catholic sanctity. St. Pius X did not give up. He wrote Pascendi. St. Catherine of Siena did not remain silent in the face of the crisis of her time. She wrote to the Pope, "Tradition has never waited for permission to survive. It has waited for the truth to speak for itself. And today, with these two pieces of news in the same week, the truth speaks loud and clear." What do you think? If you liked the video, comment, Amen. God bless you.